These grand finals are brought to you by Snapple. I'm drinking one right now, and we got Prolific playing Pink DK. Got to do it for Alpha. You know, whoever that is. I don't know. Anyways, and
there's like 30 alphas.
There's like 30 alphas. Like actually, in this community, like everybody just loves that Greek number for some reason.
Yeah.
Or character rather. But basically. Prolific and ZaiR, you know, they've kind of decided that Marth versus DK, that's the matchup they want to go with for grand finals. And you know, Prolific just got to get that grab going, always grabbing. Thank Lord for the grab. But he does convert off of it kind of nicely off the top platform. And again, he just gets a chance for that grab, kind of misses the tech chase, and ZaiR on offensive.
Honestly, this matchup is kind of weird, as you know, we all know Marth and DK have very damaging, very good, very solid combos. But honestly, when it comes down to these two players, it's not, they're determined to not let any of that happen to them. But
yeah, I definitely
in the crossfire.
Yeah, I definitely. Oh,
sorry. In the
crossfire, it's fine.
In the crossfire, it's gonna be like it's constantly padded.
Oh my god, and Prolific just saying, you know what's better than having players be 3 stock apiece? Having one player be 4 stock up to 2, you know? That's better. Thank you, Prolific, for that great answer to the rhetorical question nobody asked. But Prolific, you know, of course, always doing it for the stream. It's never a dull moment with this guy. And ZaiR just really trying to get the kill, and he finally gets it. I definitely do think these two players, I think in NOS, there's an argument that NOS is better at the Marth matchup than Prolific is as DK, but these are like top 2 players of the matchup on each side, and they're both like extremely aggressive players too, so it's like you can't be too complacent watching this gameplay. And ZaiR again on the offensive, really going for the combo here, really going for the juggle. He decides not to end it early, and as a result might get ended early, but avoids the edge guard, fortunately enough for him. Nice back air coming out from Prolific. Always, I feel like people just gotta start baiting these shield drops out, because there's 2, I don't want to expose Prolific, but there's 2 shield options that he really goes for, and it's roll and shield drop. So people gotta start covering those more. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, can't believe ZaiR's already on. Oh, Jesus Christ! Dogs got defeated.
Oh, that was actually a really interesting. I feel like he wanted to go forward with that, but the way he kind of slid onto the stage with the reverse DK punch kind of helped him out anyway. So. Yeah. And the cheese coming from Prolific. Okay, this is the one thing I want to say over here before something crazy happens the next game or whatever, because you know these two players. This is probably the most argued about matchup in 1629, which is a top player crew basically, if you're new. And I just want to say, as the commentator who can reach potentially a bunch of people through VODs, Marth doesn't win this matchup. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. Anyways, moving on. To completely unbiased commentary. All the DK mains think Marth wins, and all the Marth mains in 1629 think DK wins, and it's like we never agree on it. And Oreo just thinks it's even. Sometimes he just never sticks to one thing. Just moving on, bruh. Game 2.
Are you ready, Doc?
Doc, always ready. 3,
right.
2, 1. Go. And TOS, this is definitely a ZaiR pick if I've ever seen one. Do not go 3 games TOS versus ZaiR. Don't ask me how I know this, but just don't. Anyways, ZaiR looking real good on TOS today. And he's just gonna be looking to juggle Prolific a bunch on this stage. You know, there's no platforms, but again, grab meta coming through. Just like I said, there's just never too quiet of a moment, and ZaiR, just an excellent combo guy, excellent comboer with the TOS plants. Definitely one of the best at doing it.
definitely great at abusing DK's huge hurt box and F-air and generally all of Marth's area. Huge.
Oh my god.
Like that.
He
down
really
there.
just did that. Okay, that's the one thing about DK. You definitely don't need to double jump to down air him for Ken combos because he just ends up getting hit by the drop down air most of the time.
Already
anyway.
at 80% prolific.
I did not pay attention to this talks. ZaiR is really up 4-1. Is he really gonna force hog him in under 2 minutes, basically?
Such a contrast to the last game.
I know. It's like these players just... It feels like these players are just constantly changing and like, it's partly poor in adaptation, but it feels like they're just playing completely different each game. It's crazy. And they're always changing their punish game to fit what the opponent is doing. ZaiR just really playing extremely well with Marth right here. Definitely deserves his props. And up throw, up B, and that's it! A 4-stock. That's a clapback if I've ever seen one. That is... Damn.
Have we ever had that in a Grand Final?
I think this has happened... Yeah, it happened... Oh, actually, I'm not sure if it happened in UC 12 or whichever one is Chaos ZaiR Grands. I don't want to remind ZaiR of the PTSD he got, so let's just move on from that old Grand Finals. Because, you know, this is a new Grand Finals. ZaiR's the one 4-stocking. Let's get it, you know? Positive energy, you know? Let's see what Prolific does to Clapback. So, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so Dreamland, yeah, no bans basically means that you're going to have to fight your opponent on their strongest counter pick, and for DK in this matchup, it's either Drax or Dreamland, and DK just lives forever on this stage. You see the 71%? This game is still even, basically, because of the way Dreamland works for DK. And in general, with these two players and these two characters, this is definitely one of the most fun matchups for Punish game. ZaiR, you know, again, like, a lot of people complain about Marth's Farewell, but, you know, ZaiR just doing what he has to do as a player, and, you know, there is a difference of quite a bit of money between first and second, so you always gotta respect people who are playing their best, not just...
Yeah, you gotta play to win.
Not just playing to win, but just playing their best in general, and ZaiR showing that with the up B. ZaiR in general, since the end of Game 1, just looking real poised to take, every neutral interaction, pretty much.
Now, this time, thanks to Dreamland, ZaiR won't be caught by, like, the usual cargo up F-air cheese, but he did get caught by that cheese. Wow. Never mind, the two players can't jump. They sure can get pineappled.
Yeah, but unfortunate pineapple, you know, that's the one thing you have to deal with. It's part of what makes it a counter pick, sort of, against Marth. Dreamland, just kind of unfortunate in that regard. I mean, I do feel like ZaiR is kind of taking control of neutral again, and Punish game, of course, through juggling. So, Prolific really needs to be a little bit more careful in that regard.
However, he's just coming back with these long up air strings from cargo. Now I'm gonna be that cargo up. Anyways,
he's I feel like both players are just going in, but trying to cross up in certain ways and trying to avoid getting shield grab. But neither player is really going for shield grab in the first place, so they should be good. ZaiR trying to go for the filthy single nair conversion, but doesn't end up getting it. So yeah,
they're both just maximizing like state control. This is for ZaiR being F-air and grab, but
yeah,
Prolific being seen more prone to dropping combos after grab, which is personally why I see and favorite to win this set.
Yeah, honestly, Prolific last stock kind of ended it kind of abruptly with bad DI, but you know, every stock's a new one, and Prolific could certainly start making comeback right here. I mean, it's basically, even if he does take this stock, considering how little percent, I mean, I feel like that was the worst edge guard possible, considering how good DK can be at edge guarding Marth, but that's just me. And ZaiR is really doing a good job of putting out a lot of active hitboxes and making it just really annoying for Prolific to come down. And he's really looking poised to take this if Prolific does not get his edge guards together.
Now, this could just be me being stupid, but it seems like over 130% cargo up throw against Marth seems to be negative on hit, which means potentially could Marth counter? That's my question.
Cargo up throw. Oh, it's not like negative on hit. Negative on hit would be like being stuck there while your opponent can move. It's just like he can't combo off of it, so it just loses its combo ability. But yeah, I see what you mean though. Like I feel like he could bait, ZaiR could bait, but it's not worth like slightly being off and then just dying because we all know how janky counter can be in this game.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, he really tried it though. He really did try it. Prolific is really the one player that would be in grand finals, be at 170% and just be like, let me try giant punching off of a ledge, even though I'm playing against a disjoint. And really good fair coming out from Prolific.
Evening, actually no, not even taking the lead, but he's at high percent, so kind of really is even.
And a good up smash coming out, and the taunt, of course. Prolific just has so much character when it comes to in-game interactions. He's really trying to bait ZaiR because he does not want to deal with approaching the fair wall. So, you know, instead of narrowing to approach, let's get on some woke stuff and start taunting Marth. You see, I mean, exactly. Do you really think ZaiR is just going to sit there while Prolific taunts? You're exactly right. Anyways, moving on.
Oh yeah, that's just... I wasn't really paying attention. I think that just meant to put a top player, especially in a game.
And Prolific cycling through the taunt, the disrespect. It's wild. It is wild indeed. We live in a circus. Things are crazy in here. I meant a rodeo, but a circus works as well. We have many clowns in this community. Moving on. Game 4.
Right.
I wonder what's gonna happen here. I really do think this matchup is so volatile that anything could happen, especially with more counter pick.
Yep. Doc, you good? He's good.
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
3, 2,
Okay.
And the Tails pick from Prolific.
Okay, so Prolific did joke around and say he was gonna go all Tails at Exodus. Of course, that part he was joking, but he has played.
Oh, unfortunate.
But basically, Prolific has been playing a little bit of Tails, like a lot of bit of Tails actually, and friendlies. Just just of course as a joke. But I feel like he's low-key digs the idea of like not having a basically Tails kind of is the opposite of DK in every way. Like not in terms of DK's benefits, but a lot of DK's flaws are essentially solved by Tails, especially until the next patch. But for the viewers who don't know, Tail is essentially a sword because it cannot be hit, but it has like no hurtbox, so it's really exploitable. Oh my god, he really is. Okay. Prolific really is like the second best Tails when you really think about it. Like, even though he's the best player, of course, there's still like dedicated Tails mains, but yeah.
Yeah, if you hit.
He still is the second best Tails, like when you think about it, like who is better than Chaos and Prolific at this character? But he does mix up down B a lot, sort of like Sonic and Smash 4, unfortunately, sometimes for viewers, but nice back air right there.
What did you say? If you hit a dog's tail, you're not gonna feel it.
Yeah, okay. So one of the... maybe we shouldn't explain this in the VOD, but basically for the viewers watching, one of the developers thought if you kick a dog in the tail, it doesn't hurt it, and that developer also owns dogs, so I'm not sure what's going on in that household. Pray for the dogs. PETA, do not cancel this stream. Okay, moving onwards. ZaiR is really having a tough time dealing with the adaptation and just adjustment overall to Tails. Unfortunately for him, it's kind of like unfortunate, but at the same time, the last DK match, Prolific did win, so it's not like we can exactly say Prolific needed to switch to Tails, but I feel like Prolific definitely did think of it as convenient. And we're on bound for our second 4-stock in Grand Finals.
Can he do it before 3 minutes?
Can he do it before it hits the 5-minute mark on the in-game timer? Let's see. And Tails bought the trusty sidekick, and unfortunately for Prolific, he cannot do his meme of screenshotting people after he 4-stocked them and saying GG with the exclamation point. Either way, good job on ZaiR for taking a stock right there. You know, he doesn't want to get 4-stocked after he 4-stocked. Game 2. Yeah, you can never sleep on ZaiR for too long, or else, yeah, you just end up getting comebacked on it. But the taunt, oh my god, the taunt just
bringing out the game here
randomly, bro. I feel like Prolific is just getting bored of winning all these tournaments at this point, low key. Just being, like, not exactly being undefeated, but like just being really hard to beat for the majority of the player base. For this long, and unfortunately having his like highest amount of competition in Chaos Zero, unfortunately DQ in losers finals. But I mean, Prolific does get a chance to say, you know, the 1-4 he previously had versus ZaiR on FCR isn't exactly accurate, because he is essentially just fixing his FCR matchup chart. I feel like that's what Prolific came to the tournament to do, outside of winning the money. But yeah, and that's it. Congrats to Prolific for winning Exodus 2, the largest SSF2 tournament of all time. 132 games.
Congratulations to Prolific. You have now earned yourself a Wendy's 4-4. Have fun.